ay bakit nga ba hindi kino-cover ng PhilHealth yung mga nasa tents, na nasa triage pa, ongoing at the triage. Well, ganito po kasi yon. Ang ang closest na nakita kong batas na nag-a-apply dyan ay yung meron kasing batas na pinagbabawal ang mga ospital to turn away patients subject to the availability of beds and doctors dun sa emergency room. Kasi di ba nangyayari yun dati na dadating ang pasyente, hihingan sila ng deposit. So, pinagbabawal ngayon ng batas yung mga ospital na magtatanong kung mayroon silang deposit. So, ang ginagawa ng mga hospitals, they will treat patients at emergency care and then decide whether to admit them or not. Pag hindi pa sila na-admit, i-explain nila kung kaya ba nila yung mga yung mga conditions doon and all that. If not, they're going to be referred to another hospital. Pero required na ibigay yung emergency care. Subject lang kung wala ng doctors or puno na yung emergency room at wala ng paglalagyan. In which case, kailangan nang i-refer ka agad doon sa ibang ospital. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, kahit in some hospitals, kahit nasa tent ka na, hindi ka pa ina-admit ng ospital and therefore you're still in emergency care. Mag-uumpisa lang po ang PhilHealth benefits, at least for some of the hospitals, kapag na-admit ka na ng ospital. In which case, doon mag-uumpisa na yung benepisyo sa PhilHealth. Is this a good thing? Ako, I disagree. It's not a good thing. I don't like the idea na hindi mako-cover ang emergency care. So, gayon pa man, kailangan na itong i-address ng ating mga opisyales sa PhilHealth. Can PhilHealth do something about this? Yes. Maaaring magpasa ng board resolution ang PhilHealth through the, sino ba ang chairman ng board niyan? Ang chairman niyan ay si Secretary of Health, Francisco Duque. So mag-meet lang yung board at kung kakayanin ng finances ng PhilHealth, ay maaari nilang umpisahan yung coverage doon sa time that they are admitted to the emergency room, provided na sigurado na COVID yon. Or they can start the care from the time they are tested and then tested positive. Kasi di ba, covered ng PhilHealth ang testing for COVID. Okay. Shout out daw kay Fatima Mohammed. Sorry, maingay dito sa amin ngayon. But, okay. So, maraming issues ang PhilHealth. Of course, meron tayong balita na halos tapos na ang liquidation ng 15 billion na hinahanap natin noon. Ngayon, I would like to point out na yung 15 billion na missing noon, hindi po yan necessarily totoo. That's why they conducted a liquidation and an audit. Yung liquidation at audit na yun ay bunga kasi nung testimonya ng taga PhilHealth, yung isang lawyer doon na sinabi ni former CEO na he was merely a disgruntled employee. Gayunpaman, nakapag-umpisa siya ng investigasyon at yung liquidation na ito ay dahil nga doon sa kanyang pagtetestigo tungkol doon sa PhilHealth, supposedly for the missing 15 billion. But PhilHealth, of course, marami pa silang ibang mga issues na kailangan nilang i-address. And among others, ano yung magiging coverage ng COVID care. But nagbabalanse tayo. Since PhilHealth is an insurance agency, in other words, nagpo-provide sila ng coverage, makakapag-provide lang sila doon sa mga beneficiaries ng PhilHealth. So you have to check also kung fully paid ang PhilHealth ninyo. If not, the hospitals will give you an opportunity to fully pay your PhilHealth para maging covered kayo. Okay. Meanwhile, let's check your questions. Pero, naiintindihan ko na ang daming nagagalit, bakit daw hindi nako-cover yung triage o yung the time na inaasikaso ang mga pasyente habang nandun pa lang sila sa tent at hindi pa po sila na-admit sa hospital. In many cases po, nag-iintay pa nga sila ng admissions o hindi pa sila formally admitted, kaya hindi pa po nag-uumpisa ang kanilang coverage. Checking your questions. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Delikadesa na lang ni Duque yan, kapal ng mukha, sabi ni John Mick Diaz po. Sabi ni Ma'am Ana G.A., luminous na. Gandang uwaga po. Okay. Okay. So, chinecheck ko yung ibang mga details, nakalimutan ko na. Ni-report ko kasi yung kwento tungkol dito sa liquidation ng PhilHealth. Okay. Sabi ni Marco Balilio, good evening, pa-shout out daw because he's watching from Mabalacat, Pampanga. Okay, in the meantime, everybody, nag-report ang DOH of the highest, one of the highest, kumbaga, cases reported today. Ang nakalagay, 15,000, pero yung 3,000 of those cases were supposedly, they were tested earlier at hindi kaagad pumasok yung results. So, they should be counted to the other day pa yata. So, technically, although it is still the highest recorded number, 12,000 more or less po ang naging ang naging number of cases today. Okay? We don't know yet, so wag muna tayo magmamadali. We don't know yet what caused the surge in these cases. But most of the experts are saying, dahil nga January and February, we were doing very well, bumababa yung mga reported cases, kaya nga isinara na yung ibang mga isolation centers. After isinara sila, ito na nga March, nagkaroon tayo ng surge, and I don't know if there is a policy to reopen them again. Another record high, sabi ni John, another record high na naman ng 15,000 cases, 19 cases with a total of 771 cases na sa Pilipinas. I don't like to use the word 771 cases in the Philippines kasi yung iba dyan, of that number, ang dami na pong gumaling or namatay. And so it's not an accurate description. Actually, what you have to say is how many are still the active cases, and that is the dangerous number. The active cases is still over 100,000, so it is very dire. Kumbaga, we are not in a good place right now. Pero wag naman natin sabihin almost 1 million cases kasi nakakapanik yung ganong klaseng number. What we have to tell people is the number of active cases. But please take note, dun sa reported cases today, kahit sabihin pa natin at 12,000, 98.6% of that are asymptomatic or mild cases. Okay? So let's not unduly panic other people. Gayon pa man, that means that there is still a high number of people with medium scale to critical cases, and more than 71% na ang occupied sa ating mga ICUs within the metro area, within Metro Manila. Okay. Magandang fixed naman ang PhilHealth coverage. Depende if the case is mild, moderate, or critical. Yes, kay Erica Salvador. Gayon pa man, nag-uumpisa yung coverage daw ng PhilHealth from the time they are admitted to the hospital. So, ang operative word dito is admission, not the kind of case. Kasi no problem, covered ang COVID cases. Ang tanong nga is, when does coverage begin? When does coverage for treatment or management begin? Thank you, kay Riamor David. Thank you for the belated greetings. Kahit may backlog, sabi ni Michael Minorca, 12K is still a big number po. In fact, that's what I said. I said na kahit 12,000, that's still a big number and we are not in a good place right now. Okay? Ching Ventura Serba says, watching from Cyprus. Okay, yes, we're trying to keep safe. Dito lang po tayo sa loob ng bahay for the moment. Share ko lang po, yung taga-amin nanganak sa mga hospitals, pagkatapos yung bata lang ang pinauwi muna. At sabi daw po ng hospital, i-declare na COVID na lang para wala na silang bayaran. Ngayon, there are rising reported incidences of this na pinapasabi ng hospitals na i-report na lang as COVID. And this might also be what might be skewing the numbers. Kaya dumadami yung mga reported cases. Okay? And it's very, very dangerous kasi ang nangyayari dito is malaki yung magiging take ng hospital when they report it as COVID, even if they actually spent less for a different case. So, it is a form of corruption. Ngayon, may nagsasabi na ang problema kasi yung mga hospitals, marami sa mga ospital hindi pa po nababayaran ng PhilHealth. at hindi daw sila nababayaran dahil hindi pa rin tapos yung liquidation. Ang tanong, kung ang bilis nilang na-liquidate yung 15 billion na sinasabing nawawala, what is taking them so long in liquidating the costs na pinare-reimburse ng ating mga ospital? In fact, yung mga ganyang cases na matagal na hindi pa nababayaran was one of the reasons kung bakit nagka-interim reimbursement mechanism. Para na yung pera nasa mga ospital na at kapag kailangan gagamitin na nila and then dun sila magli-liquidate, i-account nila lahat ng ginastos nila with PhilHealth. Sabi ni Mika Contreras, I think the surge is also an offshoot of people going on holidays last December. Pero malayo because the incubation period is only 14 days. Last December and January, plus there was mass gatherings brought by the Teslasyon last January. Well, it's possible, yes, that the surge was a result of that. But remember that there's a 2-week incubation period, di ba? 14 days. So, titignan po natin. However, we will also have to balance that with newer findings in Europe. Sa UK daw, they are finding a new variant that now is about 18 days long. So, as we speak, as we're managing this, the COVID is also creating new strains. So that adds to the difficulty of managing the cases. Sabi ni Rasira Nook, doctors are saying hindi accurate yung percentage available beds in hospitals as per DOH art card na pinost. It makes people think na madami pang available beds. Well, I agree with you on that one. Okay? You're right. I've heard that also from other people, from doctors in private practice, and sinasabi po nila na ito na nga, hindi accurate reporting or baka may lag yung reporting doon sa DOH. Watching from Hong Kong si Helen Santos, nagbayad po ako ng PhilHealth kasi balak ko po umuwi for operation, na-cover po kaya ng PhilHealth yan? Thanks. I cannot answer that because I don't know anything about your medical history or the whatever it is you're going to have done. So, plus I'm not a doctor. So, we will have to check kung ano yung PhilHealth policies for coverage ng procedure that you're going to have done. Okay. Alan Joel Paulson Aniceto says, good evening. He's watching from Tacloban. Clara Asprek Abernathy says, kung minsan mahirap paniwalaan na positive ang mga asymptomatic dahil bakit walang nakuwahan sa mga close contact niya, even including the spouse and children, samantalang highly communicable ang COVID-19. Well, it might also depend on, we don't even know that much about the disease yet. Yun yung problema. At some point, science will be able to tell why some people are very susceptible to it and why others are not. They say there are some people with a genetic predisposition to not easily get it, but we cannot count on that right now. Kulang na kulang po yun. Sabi ni Bessa Memucho, PhilHealth member kami ni Mrs. pero nang ma-hospital anak namin, sagot ng PhilHealth ay 5K lang. Nagbayad pa kami ng 30K plus. Buisit na insurance yan. Yes, you might have to tell me when that happened. Kasi nga, one of the reasons kung bakit tinaasan yung premiums is because maliit lang yung nagiging coverage. Now, mas maaasal kayo because kaliwat kanan po ang gastos ng PhilHealth ngayon, which is not a good idea. And politically, while it is expedient to say na dapat covered nga ang COVID 100%, the number of cases will make this soon not viable. Remember, this is an insurance system and not merely a government-funded reimbursement system. Ang ibig sabihin ng insurance, kailangan nagko-contribute tayo to a common fund. Yung common fund na yon i-invest para lumaki. Tapos regularly, every year, yung ating SIM taxes pumupunta doon para ma-augment yung mga pwedeng i-invest at yung pwedeng i-pay out na right away. Pero in order for the coverage to be as good as we want it to be, we have to pay more, invest more, and wait for some time because hindi yan magiging immediate yung gusto natin na coverage. Remember, the President also promised a universal health care. And dapat maraming nako-cover na ito. Pero is there enough money? Yun ang tanong. We have to get real. Magagalit tayo. Definitely magagalit tayo. Kasi nga, ang laki ng binabayad natin pero hindi pa humahabol yung capability ng PhilHealth to give us a large coverage. Plus, syempre may leakages due to corruption, due to negligence, due to whatever it is they're doing in PhilHealth. Also, we want to know how much of this has been invested, how is the financial health of PhilHealth itself. We don't know because right now, ang nakikita lang natin tungkol sa PhilHealth is always covered by to, hindi ba covered dito. Now, we have to balance our expectations. Ano bang ine-expect natin sa PhilHealth compared to what we have been paying? Now, for the longest time, ang binabayad lang natin is 2,400 and a flat rate. Siguro naman at that amount, hindi tayo dapat nag-expect na ang laki ng coverage natin. Di ba? Ngayon, recently, 2 years ago lang, tumaas due to the Universal Healthcare Act. And after that, ilagay pa, ipopondo yan yung mga investments natin. Mag-e-expect ba tayo ng malaki na kaagad ang coverage natin? Not necessarily. The other problem is that with PhilHealth itself, hindi sila nagbibigay ng mga standard programs. Wala akong nakikita sa kanilang website na for this amount, for the increase in these are the ones that are covered. Instead, in their website, they say uulanin tayo ng sandamakmak na resolution that you have to wade through to find out kung covered kayo or ako or tayo. Kinakabahan nga ako because I do have other healthcare, pero my primary healthcare has always been PhilHealth, and I've always been paying it religiously for the longest time. Now, recently, tumaas yung aking mga premiums, and I've had to pay. And ang laki ng binabayad, It's almost 30,000. Well, not quite, but it's over 20,000. So, masakit yan para sa akin. And then to see na kukunti lang talaga yung magiging covered, I understand your inis at this. Gigil din talaga ako, but at the same time, talaga bang ini-expect ko na mako-cover ako ng ganong kalaki, samantalang recently lang nagtaas ng premiums. Ma'am Jackie Tonhok, Bones, thank you very much. Sabi niya, thank you for your live. Pa-shoutout to sa mga pamangkin Liam, Dian, Juliana, AJ, and to Tonhok family watching from Butuan City. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Magandang gabi, sabi ni Jamar Kahandab. Finally, naka-join ng live. Belated happy birthday. Nabati ko kayo ng birthday ninyo sa replay. Salamat po. Sergio Metante Jr. says, may kilala po ako na nagka-COVID, severe case, and he went to the hospital, Metro Antipolo Hospital. They asked the patient na need pa mag-down ng 50K para magbigyan siya ng gamot sa COVID, and then the patient provide 20K for the medicine. I don't understand. May mga hospital pang gumagawa ng ganito. Now, that's against the law, ha? Na ito turn away kayo if you do not have the necessary deposit. However, pwede kayong pumasok sa charity ward kung ganon. And then there will be no deposit required. However, if you want a private room and you want all of these other benefits, then pwede pong hingin ng hospital yung deposit niyo. Ganon po yun. And that's what the law says. So you have to be careful. Hindi ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga pasyenteng ina-admit sa hospital, hindi pwedeng hingan. Pag humingi kayo ng private room, hindi po kayo sa ward or sa charity ward, then yes, hihingan po kayo ng deposito. Yung kay Risa, tinatanong ni Eric, ang buhay ko, yung kay Hontiveros, ano na nangyari sa Senate? Ano to? Yung, ano niya, yung ano bang tawag nito? Controversy niya. Well, ang sinasabi niya is she doesn't have any controversy. Ang pinaka-controversial sa kanya, na nag-survive, kasi yung iba medyo mali dun sa timeline is, naging ano siya, ano ba tawag doon? Model. Naging parang, she advertised PhilHealth and she was paid for that, and then later on, she became a member of the board. So medyo, shady yung ganon, but I don't know if she was ever charged for that. And then, of course, meron yung sinasabi na ugnayang bayan at simbahan, yon yung ubas, na hindi pa nililinaw kung ano yung nangyari dun sa pera doon. Sabi ni Joylyn, dapat ikaw ang ilagay dyan, ang dami ng pinalit dyan, ganun pa rin. The problem really is the system. It's not a good idea na magre-rely tayo for universal healthcare on an insurance system. Yes, we need health insurance. Walang issue tayo sa ganyan. Pero yung aasahan natin yung PhilHealth para i-cover lahat, isipin niyo lang nag-umpisa ang COVID last year. So ano yung mga pinapa-cover sa COVID? Testing is covered, di ba? So ngayon, 100% daw dapat COVID, kino-cover ng insurance yung COVID. What if, there have been 700,000 cases, sabihin na natin na 2% of that ang naging super critical na and then 100% ang coverage niyan. Can you imagine what is going to happen to us? What is going to happen to the insurance? Mababagsak talaga siya. Mababangkarote natin yan. And it's not a good idea. So, yun nga, ang mangyayari dyan is mabangkarote ang PhilHealth, sayang tayong lahat na nagbayad dyan. Especially those na wala naman rin nga tayong pakinabang dyan eh. Okay. Anong masasabi niyo sa ivermectin? We already made comments yesterday. Ethel Pinedo says, clinics were supposed to be built using PhilHealth funds but they are none. Agree. Hindi lang po clinics, under the Universal Healthcare Act, hospitals. At saka dapat merong mga bagong doktor, pinopondohan natin ang mga scholarships ng mga healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals para they can render service to us. So, babayaran natin yung edukasyon nitong mga to with the minimum requirement that they will be of service to the country for a certain number of years. Wala pa tayong naririnig dyan. Nakalagay din sa Universal Healthcare Act na dapat nagpo-provide ang PhilHealth, or not PhilHealth, nagpo-provide under the Universal Healthcare Act ng primary healthcare giver. Ibig sabihin, mayroon tayong regular na doktor or healthcare professional na pupunta tayo doon, meron tayong yearly check-ups, tapos sila yung magkikip ng records natin. Every time magkakasakit tayo, i-report natin doon para nakukuha yung mga medical history natin. And sila po ang magre-refer sa atin kung sakasakaling meron tayong seryosong sakit at kailangan i-refer tayo sa mga ospital, sila din po ang dapat gagawa niyan. Ngayon, dapat in coordination or cooperation yan with the local government units. Meron na bang nabigay na pera? Meron na bang mga programa? Wala po tayong balita sa ganyan. Ang alam natin, yung ibang mga LGUs, nag-umpisa po sila ng ganyan, but with the COVID pandemic happening right now, ang dami pong mga programa na nagko-collapse. Bakit? There's not enough. I mean, aminin na natin ngayon pa lang. If this continues, we don't know how long PhilHealth will be able to answer for how many cases that will be happening here. We have to be ready. Okay? Sabi ni Ma'am Sofia, Bakhinam Omnibus. OFW po ako, sa UAE po, i-require po ako kaya magkaroon at magbayad sa PhilHealth. Paano po if ayaw ko po, okay lang po ba yun? Right now, ang sinasabi ng Presidente, originally he was saying, sana voluntary nilang, pero unfortunately, ma'am, hindi po nabago ang batas. Under the Universal Healthcare Act, you are considered mandatory contributor, so kailangan po magbabayad kayo ng contributions. Ang binigay, nagpasa yata ng batas or nagpasa ng bill ang Kongreso, ewan ko kung dumaan na sa Senado at kung na-approve na ito, merong bill na nagsasabing bibigay sana yung discretion sa Pangulo na wag mo nang mag-impose ng mga increases doon sa Universal Healthcare Act on the primary contributors or mandatory contributors. Hindi pa po naipasa yung batas.